I want you to come back with me about 17 years ago. I was younger then, didn't have near the gray hair that I have now or the wrinkles that you see. I was in sales. I'd been in for about 7-8 years, and I thought I was a pretty decent salesperson. I would have told you flat out, I'm a pretty good salesperson. I scheduled an appointment with a bank I was trying to get into for quite a while. Finally, the bank president relented and invited me in. As I came into this bank, all of a sudden I got really intimidated. You understand these banks, they mahogany or oak, really rich, deep, dark tones. Everybody's in a three-piece suit. All the walls, they have all of their accomplishments and diplomas and recognition. It looks and feels rich and educated and powerful. Not a world I've come from. I was incredibly intimidated. I couldn't believe how nervous I was. And it got worse. They invited me into the conference room. Not only the president was sitting there at the head of the table, but all of the vice presidents. And I found out that day that banks have a lot of VPs. Everybody's a VP. And they're all in three-piece suits, and they all look very sharp. All of them were older than me, much more accomplished. About 2 to 3 minutes into the meeting, and it could have lasted longer, but I was so nervous I lost track of time. The bank president stood up and he said, "I'm going to ask you to leave. This process is over. You're wasting my time, my bank's time, and my vice president's time." Wow. I felt like somebody hammered me. I was so embarrassed. I had to walk out of that place, and it felt like every eye, even the customers, knew that I was a train wreck, and they were watching me walk out of the bank with my tail between my legs. It wasn't until later that day, when I got my mind back, because I think I was still blushing 5 hours later. I was so mortified. But once I started thinking again, I understood this bank president. He was correct. What he did was right. I was wasting their time. I had gone backwards. I thought I was better than I really was. I sat down and I wrote this guy a letter. And I said, "Dear Mr. Bank President, first forgive me. You're right. I was a train wreck and I was wasting your time. And I was wasting your time because of," and I listed 3 things. I said, "Here's what I've learned today. I've learned 1, I'm intimidated of you. And I'm intimidated of men and women like you that are powerful and educated. That's a me problem. I'm going to start working on that. I didn't understand it before. Number 2, I need to work on my communication skills. I found out today that my communication skills aren't near what they should be. Soon after I joined Toastmasters to help me get over my fear of communicating to groups. And third, even though I'm in sales and my focus is on small business owners, I didn't know much about business owners. That was a blind spot for me. I needed to throw myself into some research. Business owners have a language all their own, and it's not the same as sales people's language. We're different. I needed to learn their language because they're the business I was calling on. I wrote this in this letter, and they said, "Sir, I don't deserve a second chance, but our whole country and our history is built on men and women giving others second chance. So I'm hoping you'll give me a second chance, and I promise you this, I'm going to do a lot better. I need your help, though." I was surprised. A couple days later, he called me. He said, "Yes, of course I will." Became a great friend and a great business partner. But he helped me to learn that going backwards is the best part of success. And I know that doesn't sound right, but we don't learn things from success. We don't learn things from getting it right and winning. Maybe poquito, very little. But what we do learn is through the backwards part. When we fail, we mess up, we make mistakes. It's in there. It's the secret sauce. It's the most beautiful part of the whole equation, and that's where we learn and grow. If you're not going backwards, you're not going to succeed. If you're not going backwards, making mistakes, it's because you're not trying hard enough. And most people, unfortunately, are going to quit in the backward stage. We're not going to try again. We're not going to go back to that bank president. We're going to give up and say, "Well, I'm just not going to call on banks or lawyers or professionals anymore because they intimidate me, or because I don't understand their language, or I'm not going to feel that way again." Going backwards reveals our blind spots. And if we want to be a success, we must be comfortable going backwards. We're never going to love the backwards part because it's painful. It is medicine to an open sore. But we have to go through that process because that's where we learn. We get stronger, we get wiser, and now next time we come back and we're better equipped. If you want to be a bigger success than you are today, go backwards. Fail, make mistakes, which just means you have to try different things that you've never tried before. Get outside of your comfort zone. Because going backwards is the best part of success. My name is Ed Carcarey. Thank you for listening, and I hope I can connect with you at edcarcarey.com. Find your passion. You'll find your life.